let's talk about supered process rules. Supered process rules are ways that you can put your process enforcement directly into your HubSpot or your Salesforce. What we're looking at right here is a HubSpot record, which has some process rules flagging in the middle. These process rules are flagging because there is missing data points. So process rules can help enforce and to remind your users of what data points, what information you really want them to put into your CRM record. So how do we get there? How do we build these? Let's go find out. Process rules are found within your supered under the processes tab on that left-hand side. The way we have these organized is via a list view. So when you are creating your process rules, you're able to find each and every process rule you've created via the list view. So let's create a process rule together. So we're going to hit create rule. On here, this is our basics. So it's going to have your name. So I'm just going to call this simply process rule. What type of error this is. So what type of rule this is. So errors red, warnings are yellow, and positives are green. You're also able to create your own custom process rule, which we'll talk about in our process rules camp. So definitely sign up for that. I'm going to leave mine as an error. And you can switch your provider here. As you can see, we have HubSpot and Salesforce available. And once you have your provider selected, you can select the primary object that you want this rule to flag on. I'm going to select a deal. And next, we're going to talk about in-page. What does in-page mean? In-page talks about how this displays within your CRM. So for HubSpot, we have our display titles. If you want to connect a card that has more information on it, you can do that here. And the rule text. This is describing what's missing. So your missing information is basically what the rule text is saying. So things such as you're missing information, or yay, you closed a deal, or hey, you're going to want to talk to your prospect, your close date's coming up a little bit early. Things of that nature. When we come into logic, that's where the fun starts. This is where you start building the parameters of your rule. So when and what kind of data is missing is when the flag shows up. So we have filter, which is your basic and or filtering. We have group here, which is your Boolean logic. So if you need A and B to be true or C to be true in order for your process rule to show up, you would do a grouping logic. Then we also have association. Association allows you to do cross-object validation. So if you're looking at a deal record in HubSpot, for example, but your associated contact is missing something like a phone number, an email, a title, anything like that, you can create a process rule that will show up on the deal record that flags your user that, hey, you're missing information on this associated object. We're going to do a simple one together today. So we're going to do filter, and I'm going to do it on deal stage. So I'm going to type in deal stage and select that. And in here, you can change what type of parameter you want. Is any of, is none of, equals to. I'm going to leave mine as is any of. And in my field that I'm going to use here, I'm going to put in closed one. Now, when you are doing something with that has multiple pipelines, it is important to note that you are putting the correct pipeline of where you want this to flag. Now, if you want this to flag on every pipeline, you can keep selecting them and keep adding them onto this. So we're going to hit update filter. Now our rule is created. Before we hit save rule, we do have a way that you can test if the rule is working. You do that by coming into, say, your HubSpot record, and grab the HubSpot ID, which is this number at the back of your URL, and grab that. And we're going to put that in here, and we're going to see if it flags. So it's not going to flag because the record does not match the rule. We can go back over into HubSpot and double check why doesn't this record match the rule. And because our pipeline, our stage is not a closed one. If I were to move this to closed one, and come back over here, put our ID back in, it will tell me that the record matches the rule. So this rule will show up on our HubSpot record, and we simply just save rule. And if I come in here and we refresh our page, and that process rule that we just created together will show up. Okay, that, my friends, is process rules. created, if you want to come back into it, you will have this new tab, Analytics, showing what Analytics will show you is all of the record that you have that are flagging this rules, whether that be in HubSpot or Salesforce. It will flag you the object ID and the triggered date of when this rule was flagged onto it. When you click onto that object ID, it will pull you into HubSpot and pull you into that specific object so that you can remedy why the rule is flagging, add in that data that's missing, and make sure that your CRM data is as clean as possible.